Thank you very much, and a great pleasure to speak about this topic today. I would like to invite my colleagues, amazing colleagues. We have an amazing panel today, leader in this industry, starting from Tarat El-Kadi, Rami Bisat, Samer Sabra, and Sahil Hali. Thank you. Thank you very much, and thanks again for your presentation. I think some of the lessons learned that we can take from you just present is basically, in order to attract global partnership in hospitality and tourism and real estate in general, it's really important to strategically de-risk the entire investor journey. And that can be obviously done by the contribution of government entity in terms of like an incentive, clarity of regulation, but also creating a cohesive ecosystem, as well as really incentivize the private sector. I mean, increase the maturity of the private sector, and also additional contribution into the investment pool. If you look at Saudi in the past year, we saw dramatically increase of the private sector contribution. That's also bring like a greater investor appetite, both from the domestic and global market. I would like to start with Tarek. We discussed about the amazing growth of your portfolio in the past year. So my question is more, what was the really success factor that enabled this growth? What are the key partnerships and the key or more innovative investment model that you were able to establish that basically was the base on the growth that you have so far, and then the future outlook that, as we discussed, looks very positive?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Camilla, and good afternoon, everyone. So maybe just to take a step back, so who's Usul? Usul is the real estate investment manager of GOSI. GOSI is the social insurance, i.e. the pension fund of Saudi. So right now our assets is around 45 billion riyals, and the target is to grow to 80 billion riyals. I mean, no way we can do this all alone, and the key word and the short answer to your question is partnerships, partnerships, partnerships. I mean, initially, our first two main, let's say, interfaces are usually fund managers. So we partner with local and global fund managers to kind of source capital and act as platforms for deployment. Our second interface would be partnerships with developers, local developers, and I have some of the best sitting next to me, the three developers in the KSA, so, and international developers, and we're trying to attract also international developers. So these are the main interfaces in the beginning of the life cycle of any project, but then also partnerships with architects, designers, operators, to de-risk the execution and de-risk the implementation part. So this is, in short, who the landscape that we're looking at and who are we trying to target. And us as Usul, our only role is basically to structure, guardrail, and institutionalize these relationships with different parties. So because we don't look in quarters, we look in decades to kind of match the liabilities that we have, our pensioners in the futures. So it's a matter of an asset liability management. Now, maybe on the other hand of the question, or the other half of the question, is what kind of investment vehicles do we invest in? It's the whole menu, let's say. So starting from direct acquisitions to discretionary funds where we commit to fund managers, local or global, with certain mandates and parameters in hand. We do development funds by partnering with developers as a partner to, if we have, for example, land bank, and land is plenty in Saudi Arabia. Discretionary funds, again, as I said. So, of course, JVs. We have JVs where we can contribute cash. We can have JVs where we contribute real estate assets as in-kind. So there is a multitude of investment vehicles that we can use, but again, it's not only about the opportunity, but more about also who's the partner, and aligning the interests of those partners to reap the benefits on the longer term. So yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Thank you, Tarek. Rami, Taiba is been attracting global partner for a while now. You are trusted that position as a trusted advisor in Saudi. You have a strong track record that enable global partner to come in Saudi and co-invest. As we discussed, you have several projects under development that include global partnership from hospitality groups or operators that want to expand in Saudi and have more skin in the game, up to developer that want to relocate in Saudi and basically establish their operation here. When you started this journey, what was the initial challenge that you have in order to create appetite for this global partner in the Saudi market?
Yeah. First, thank you for having me. Thank you for this panel. For sure, we're receiving a lot of interest from international investors. They see that the Saudi market is still in its early stages in the hospitality industry. They see that there's a lot of opportunities and the market is far from being mature and far from being saturated. There's a lot of room for growth and a lot of room for new products. Investors mainly, the first things that they look at is the infrastructure readiness in the country, the ease of doing business, and the access to capital markets. When they do their research, they discover that Saudi is open and ready for business. All these things are there. The second set of questions or inquiries they have is opportunities and project delivery. And this is where Taiba comes in as a partner. Taiba has been established in '76. It's a publicly listed company, so investors can know everything about us. They can see what we're doing. We have 8,000 keys under management, 40 properties. So we are constantly, and we have about 7 projects under construction. And we're constantly looking at opportunities, identifying, discussing, negotiating, analyzing. So this is where we come as a company and as a partner for international investors. We are able to bridge the cultural knowledge and bring access to opportunities, unique opportunities, and we help them, we bring a good deal. So basically, in terms of development structure, I think a co-development model is something that everyone is interested in. What we discovered is that most of the investors come from a hospitality background. So the hospitality or hotel operations side, this is something they have it covered. What remains is the identifying the location, identifying the opportunity. And this is what we can bring to the table.
Thank you, Rami.
Yes.
If we move more on the real estate, broader real estate, and Samer, with your experience, Nick also mentioned before about several new reforms happening in Saudi, from white land tax into changing on ownerships. How these reforms you will see, I mean, not only now, but in the next 2 years will impact the potential expansion of your portfolio in Mecca as you currently leading it, but also in other locations?
Yes, definitely. If we talk about the company Jamal Amar, we are concentrating mainly in Mecca, but to take a broader picture about Saudi Arabia, when we talk about what's happening in terms of legislations, so definitely when you talk about white land tax, this will in different areas, and you know in Riyadh has been the white land tax, it's higher than the other cities in Saudi Arabia. This will cause an increase in the supply of the land, whether in sales or potential for development, which will attract in the meantime foreign direct investment in order to come, because the opportunities will be much bigger. I think the prices will be also in a much better positioning in order for these investors to come and assess these opportunities. Legislation is there, and this will be reflected positively, definitely, on Saudi Arabia in general. If we take Mecca as also another city where it has its specifications, Mecca and Medina, I think everybody also is waiting for the foreign ownership law, which will have a drastic change on the ecosystem in these 2 cities, because depending on the law and the details of the law, this will open the doors for a lot of potential investments from foreign investors or GCC investors in both cities. And this will help in the development of these two cities in order to attract more pilgrimage in the future and to be able to walk around with the Vision 2030.
Thank you. If we move from Mecca to Medina, I'm particularly interested and passionate about Medina. Medina is a region or a destination that already have a great appetite, right? There is an established demand. There is also an established supply. There is a lot of opportunity that can range from brownfield and greenfield. So definitely number one region if we consider in the KSA. Rural Medina is obviously, as one of the bigger hospitality projects globally, is playing an amazing role in the region and, of course, unlocking a lot of investment from domestic market and international market. What is your experience, Sohail, on this, and then how you see opportunity that Rural Medina will offer for the Medina region?
Thank you, Camilla. This is a very good question. First, if we start with the regulation, indeed, the recent regulatory change about the foreign ownership in Medina and Mecca will play a very important role in changing the game in Medina or Mecca. For decades, foreign ownership and investment in Medina and Mecca was very limited for a certain period of time. And we believe this will allow, let's say, capital market to move toward the Saudi Arabia in general and Mecca, Medina specifically. So if we look at Medina right now, Medina, in addition of its, let's say, significance, spiritual significance, I can say, it has a very steady market, as you mentioned. Demand always there. Performance, mashallah, in the last 2 years, we have noticed that the performance is more than 35% more than the 2019, which was the peak in terms of hospitality performance. So Medina in general, it has also the support from MDA. The infrastructure in Medina is well established. And when it comes to ROA, the term of ROA, this can be considered a very good opportunity for global investor to come and explore the opportunity within Rural Medina. In Rural Medina, we do have 2 master plans that we are working on it. The first one is the Rural Medina project, which is going to provide more than, which considered as one of the biggest hospitality projects in the world, and it's going to provide more than 47,000 keys, inshallah, in the future. And the other one is Dar al-Hijra, with a mixed-use development that varies between residential, commercial, and also other healthcare and education also as well. So considering this, Rural Medina will play a main role in attracting investor or global investor toward Medina. It's backed by or owned by PIF, and also the master plan design. First location, it's a few steps away from the Holy Mosque of Medina, and also to provide a sustained design and let's say pedestrian design. So this is a very good opportunity for any investor who would like to enter Medina market, and we believe Rural Medina can be considered #1 project right now in Medina.
Thank you. With all of this amazing effort that you just showcased, a question for all of the panelists. I mean, looking at the future, looking at the next outlook, right? Where you see, from your different perspective, the major opportunity, but also the significant support that you will require from a government perspective in terms of initiatives, regulation, governance, marketings, branding that you basically require in order to further expand what you're actually doing.
If I may say, I don't want to be biased toward Medina. However, in general, Saudi Arabia has witnessed lately, recently, huge change in the trend of the real estate sector. And if we focus a little bit more into the hospitality segment, I believe Saudi Arabia right now is considered the main, let's say, attraction for any global investor to enter this hospitality sector. So it's vary between greenfield project and brownfield project as well. If we look at projects like Neom or Red Sea, where there is a huge potential there for any hospitality project. And if we look also at the other city like Riyadh, Medina, Mecca, where the demand is already there, it's a mature market, and we believe right now the performance is doing very well, and in the future it will be much, much better. So I believe, in general, Saudi Arabia have many opportunity, and any global investor, he can have a variety of options and opportunity that he can look at it and consider it in the future.
Thank you.
Yes, in addition, it was talking about Medina, we need to talk also about Mecca, which is definitely has a great potential and attraction for the foreign direct investments, where we see the potential is there, and now with the announcement of King Salman Gate, also it's another big project that will add to Mecca in terms of developments. And the marketing is there with the Vision 2030. I believe the country or the government has done a lot of efforts in order to market Saudi Arabia in general and put it on the radar for investment in the region and on international level. So what is important is mainly the legislations and mainly the simpleness of the procedure that will help the investor in order to be able to process the processing of all the needed governmental works or all the needed governmental procedure to simplify it in order for them to be able in order to come and to start the investment whenever the laws are there in order to help them participate in the amazing journey toward 2030.
Maybe if we do our sense, from our perspective, I see it flight to quality with the white land tax introducing around 120 million square meters. A lot of landowners are going to turn into developers or are going to seek developers. And for us as investors, it would be the quality. The quality will stand out. And I think with the evolving the young population and then the demand actually maturing, the residents, the end users will ask for this quality, because 120 million square meters, that's a small city to be introduced in the matter of days or months or in a year. So I think flight to quality would be the and again circling back to the title of the session, which is partnerships. So quality partnerships, quality investors, quality developers.
Choosing the right partners it's a key role.
Exactly.
So whether local or international, it's a key role
100%.
in terms of having the quality needed.
It's aligning the product, aligning the partners to equals a good quality opportunity for investors. So,
if I may add, we see the two types of demand. There's the international demand for hospitality, and then there's the local one. The local one should not be forgotten. Saudis themselves are interested in discovering their own country through their, and it doesn't necessarily mean through the regular hospitality product that is an international brand, etc. It could be local brands. It could be also a type of wellness product or a kind of eco tourism product that the locals would be interested in. And then there's the regional demand. A lot of people that maybe live in Qatar or the UAE are also interested in discovering Saudi. Saudi has a lot to offer. Yeah. It's not just Mecca and Medina and Riyadh. You know, there's the Abha, for example. There's the Red Sea. And these offer, like Abha itself, offers really amazing weather and really nice culture in there. And the Saudi culture in general, they're very interested in meeting international tourists and welcoming them. If I can state some numbers, the Saudi received, or the number of tourists in Saudi in 2024 was 116 million, 116, and the target for 2030 is 150 million. In 2024, tourism spend was 75 billion US. So all these numbers are very encouraging. And in my opinion, all products are needed. We have to also remember there's Expo, there's World Cup. All these also will bring a different type of demand. International tourists will be coming, and they would require international experience, but not necessarily international brands. It's a new market, and the demand is there. And I mean, everyone in hospitality would know that this is the right time to be in Saudi and in this sector specifically.
Thank you very much. I think I learned a lot today, and I hopefully, with all of this know-how, we can unlock a lot of global partnership, maybe speak about this next year again in this same stage and see how we progress with this. Thank you very much to our all panelists, and great learning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.